The colorful motifs and the familiar revving of the engine, the usual honking and the rush of passengers. Picture this in your head and you'll probably come up with our humble jeepney. Right now, however, these jeepneys are producing about 80% of pollution in Metro Manila alone.
We presented to DOTC, to Secretary Baya, and he said, you know, if you really want to solve the problems of our transport sector, you may want to take a look at the jeepney. I'm Anthony B. I'm the Managing Director for Global Electric Transportation. I'm one of the founders of this business. The COMET stands for City Optimize, Manage Electric Transportation. So COMET is an integral part of the whole business plan that we're trying to put together. You know? The COMET is a fully electric vehicle. The technology comes from Vancouver, Washington. Its power source is a battery with a chemistry of lithium iron phosphate. It has a 12 kilowatt capacity. It can run for 80 kilometers, 80 to 100 kilometers in one single charging for 5 hours. It's a 16-seater capacity. It was designed so that it's easy to maintain compared to a regular vehicle that has over 4,000 parts. This one has around 350 parts. A lot of the parts are OEM, meaning they're off the shelf. You can buy them. So if something breaks down, you can buy it off the shelf. Efficiency-wise, it's a lot more efficient than what we have out there, the jeepney. The jeepneys run about 1,200 per day of fuel consumption, pesos. This one will probably consume you 400 a day. Here, we've put in an air suspension system, which makes it more comfortable. That feature also allows the vehicle to be adjusted. It will be lower for easy access for elderly or disabled. It can also be raised up when there's floods, so you can pass through the flood. In the COMET, the driver is isolated. He doesn't have any passengers on the side. This is to keep him concentrated on the road. We have CCTV cameras also on board the vehicle. This assures the riding public that they're safe.
From these features alone, the COMET shuttle is undeniably a total revamp of our trusty yet oftentimes clunky jeepneys. But tweaking our transportation system requires a more holistic and extensive solution.
We're creating a command center that has direct communication with the driver. So any concerns of the driver with the vehicle, if there's something wrong with the vehicle, he can get in touch with the command center. And we can send out service. We can tell him, you know, slow down, you're moving too fast. We envision putting in designated stops to put order in the system. We don't want people getting on and off anywhere they want, which causes a lot of the traffic. We've developed something, it's an RFID technology. We call it the TITO, the tap-in, tap-out system. There's no more cash transactions within the vehicle. When you tap in, you tap out exact fares. This also assures us that we have the money on hand, which is vital for us because we need to be able to assure the driver at the end of each day they can get their money. What we do here is we're managing the route collectively. Our first route flies from SM North EDSA, which is our terminal. SM North EDSA goes through Quezon Memorial Circle, down to UP, Balara, and then to Ateneo, via Katipunan, going all the way to Eastwood in C5, up to Meralco Avenue, and ends up in SM Mega Mall. We chose this route primarily because we wanted to deploy somewhere where there is a huge number of passengers or commuters. Imagine in SM, at any given day, they have like 500,000 foot traffic on any given day. What's the best way to roll out in somewhere that you know that the business model will work?
In the ecosystem of public transportation, it's not a surprise that it's the drivers who suffer most from Metro Manila's pollution. Through GET, Anthony wants to improve these drivers' health and also ensure the safety of their passengers through proper training.
They're looking for something better that can uplift their standards of living, their driving condition. Imagine they're working 16 hours a day, inhaling all this pollution. Most of them have pulmonary problems already because they inhale this. What we're trying to do right now is really work at building an ecosystem wherein each and every stakeholder's concern is addressed. We want them to be as courteous as possible. We institutionalize the training. We've partnered with Gawad Kalinga in terms of the driver's training. They start out with a values formation. If you manage the fleet, you'll take away the drivers trying to get passengers from one another, which causes all the havoc in the road.
Pinagusto ko kasi yung design. It's convenient, it's comfortable, and at the same time, I'm doing my part to help the environment. It's spacious, mas malaki siya, at saka at the same time, mas safe ka dito, unlike yung jeep na medyo cramped sa loob.
These colorful and noisy jeepneys have been very integral to our culture, making it hard to say goodbye to these kings of the road. But it's not just about retiring our well-loved jeepneys. It's about transforming the whole landscape of public transportation into a more breathable and eco-friendly one.
Eventually, what we want to do is not to replace the existing owners, but have them convert to this and have us manage it. I've told you there's about 55,000 jeepneys roaming around Metro Manila alone. So imagine the pollution that's causing. Our long-term goal is really to convert each and every one of them into electric. It may not be us, it may be another supplier, but that is the goal, And if you can change that, imagine the impact on the environment.